All right, moving on to Executive Director's Report. Julie Banks.
Great. Thank you for the opportunity to chat today at our board meeting. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you an overview of the last quarter since we met last. To start off on a bit of a negative note, but hopefully we can end on a more positive note, the last quarter did result in service changes for us. Here's a list of the service changes that were made public, and while they have definitely been difficult in relation to providing resources for the community, these cuts have allowed AC&C to maintain our general functions in the way we are doing them at this point. So as you can see, field services were changed 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Cat pickup in the field is occurring if a cat is injured, involved in an animal bite, or suffering in any other way. We are working much more closely with 311 right now, and most calls are being rerouted to 311 in the effort that the calls that are coming into our call center are going to be specific calls that require a field officer to pick them up. Lost and found searches are being done if an animal comes into our facility with a known identification or a known owner. And this also resulted in some reduction of operational staff. Intakes, if you look at intakes, it was pretty much a stereotypical quarter that we see every time at this year. We did see a rise in kittens, as we do at the end of the summer, and then we started seeing it drop off at the end of the quarter, which we tend to see. It's a seasonal thing, and we tend to see a lot throughout the years. We definitely, there is a kitten season. We all know there's a kitten season, and almost to be a kitten in December at Animal Care and Control, because you almost always find a home because there's few of them in relation to a kitten during the summer months. We have definitely tried to do an increase in prevention and assistance with people coming in over the counter. Although staffing sometimes makes that difficult, we have an increased presence from our partner Pets for Life that has been helping us a lot in providing assistance to individuals who are not really wanting to turn in their pet, but are just looking for help. Pets for Life program has really been terrific. And I also wanted to say, because the stats we're going to show next are mainly dogs and cats, in the last quarter, we rescued and took in over 3,000 rabbits, pocket pets, wild, exotic, zoo animals, farm animals. So it's not just a dog and a cat that comes into Animal Care and Control. The third most popular animal that comes in our door is rabbits. And then after that, you never know what's going to come in the door at any given time. So we do work with a lot of outside groups in the hopes that once we get them in the building, we can get them out of the building as quickly as possible, so that they don't stay in our care, since it's not really the ideal situation for them. You can see that we continue to see a decrease in intakes coming in the door, which is a positive. The goal would be to keep these animals in their families, spay neuter them so that they're not reproducing, and as a result not have any more animals coming in the door in the first place. This is, the last one was the year. I should highlight that this is the end of the calendar year. So this would be January to January. This one, on the other hand, is just the quarter. So you'll see similarities there. We have definitely seen adoptions going down in the past year, and there's so many different reasons for it. I can't really come to you right now and say that there is a specific reason for it, but we've definitely seen economy issues, saturations in the market. Our New Hope partners have shared with us that they've been struggling a little bit because of saturating the market with pets. Right now, the animals that are in our building and we have a difficult time for, I think I mentioned last time, was cats and pit bulls. And those are the ones that are more difficult to find a home for. And hopefully we can encourage people to see the benefit and the beauty of those particular animals as well. Our PetSmart location was pretty successful in the last quarter, so we had over 100 cats adopted out of our PetSmart location that just opened in the last quarter. So that was really nice. And regardless of our challenges, AC&C continues to partner with outside groups to try to get animals out of our building into the community, and we've been doing as many off-site adoption events as we could do. The more volunteers we get, however, the more events we can do, so it is one area where we are encouraging volunteers to continue to assist us in that participation. So as you can see here, the numbers, this is calendar year. We've seen a decrease in adoptions in our facilities. And this is the decrease in adoptions in the last quarter. Euthanasia. We have definitely seen a decrease in euthanasia numbers. We've seen it throughout the past 10 years. We've seen a decrease, and that's something that we should celebrate. But there are still animals being euthanized at animal control. So we are not really done fighting to make that lower until we're not euthanizing any animals. I want to make sure, because there's a lot of confusion of the language that is used, and I want to make sure that you understand how we keep our statistics. The first thing is the issue of adoptable animal. The way we look at it at Animal Care and Control, any animal is an adoptable animal if there is a person willing to adopt it. So if that animal is 15 years old and has a tumor hanging from it, if there's somebody who's interested in adopting that animal is adoptable. What we look at is whether it's healthy or not healthy. And we look at animals based on the Asilomar Accord stats, and then it's the nationally recognized way to keep track of your stats. And the Asilomar Accords goes based on whether an animal is healthy, treatable, manageable, treatable, rehabilitatable, or untreatable, unrehabilitatable. So the good news is no healthy animal was euthanized in the last quarter. The bad news is that there are still treatable animals every day being euthanized at Animal Care and Control. Now, many treatable animals are getting out of our buildings either through our direct adoption or through the great work of our New Hope partners, who are really focusing a lot of energy on our treatable category and then spending their own money to treat them. But there are still, that category is the category that we are focusing on right now as a group to look at and to try to reduce those euthanasia numbers. As you can see by our stats, calendar year, euthanasia keeps and continuously keeps going down, and in the last quarter as well. We have definitely put a huge emphasis on fundraising. You know, with budget cuts, we need to look at alternative ways to find fundraising, so to find dollars to come into our doors. So we've done a couple of things that I just wanted to highlight. First of all, we've created a fundraising plan, thanks to certain members of the board for their input, and we are excited to be able to move forward with our fundraising plan, which includes everything from direct mail to special events to interesting and fun ways to fundraise. We have created 3 restricted funds. The Animal Care Fund is going, if someone wants to donate to providing above and beyond an extra for the animals in our building at any given time. The Maggie Fund, which we're probably going to change the name, but the Maggie Fund is focused on providing funds for animals that require special medical attention in our care, and that includes our foster program. And then the Education Fund, which we'll also probably change the name for, is a fund dedicated to responsible pet ownership and outreach in the community, where we can hopefully do a better job of prevention. In our fundraising plan, we said that we were going to do direct mail appeals. So for the holidays, we did 2 direct mail appeals, which were pretty successful. I'm measuring success based on the fact that we covered our costs and made some money. They were both prospect mailing, meaning we were looking for new donors as part of our new relationships. And we also expanded our wish list and did a holiday giving program where we had a good amount of people from the community participate with us on our wish list and donate to us donated items, everything from a can of dog food on up to dollars, so that we can purchase some needed medical equipment. So that has been really nice. We created an Adopt a Kennel program, so that if there's a particular individual who wants to adopt an animal in a kennel or adopt a cage itself, we now have a mechanism to do that. And we're about to announce, although this wasn't the last quarter, this is going to be something I just wanted to take the opportunity to announce, that we are going to have our own product line, and the product line is going to be Rescue Roast and Rescue Tea. You can actually see the label. This is going to be the label of the coffee, and we hope that everybody considers not only buying it, but next year for the holiday season, giving it to friends. Half of the proceeds of this product is going to go directly to help animal care and control. So we're very excited about that. We've also been looking into our communications and our outreach and trying to improve that. As you can see here on these slides, we have a new logo. The logo was done by a pro bono design firm, and we are very excited to have that because it really represents for us much better than our old logo who we are and what we're about. We recognize that we get a lot of public concern and emails and phone calls about our conditions at Animal Care and Control and about euthanasia, and we are committed to communicating with those folks who give us their names and their emails so that we can respond, invite you down to the shelter, ask you how you can help us, figure out a way to partner with individuals who have concerns and try to bring them into our family and work with us on those concerns. With the changes of services, required an extra commitment on our end to work with 311 so that we can ensure that 311 is saying our voice into the community and making sure that they're working with members of the community to accurately give information. So we've been working a lot with 311. And we've also created an adoption flyer. And an adoption flyer is basically a flyer that's going to be updated once a week. You can sign up to receive the adoption flyer on our website. Once a week, if you get that, it is a flyer with pictures and descriptions of adoptable animals that we have in our building right now that are waiting for somebody to take them. And the hope is anybody will sign up to receive that once a week, and then they can plaster it anywhere. They can plaster it at their in their lobby, they can plaster it at their work, they can put it on Facebook, they can do whatever they can to try to highlight these animals and to get these animals adopted. Again, the focus is the animals that we have more difficulty finding homes for. Our volunteer program has been widely successful in the past quarter. I know that there have been some concerns about length of time, but it is up and running, and it is running fabulous. We have over 200 new volunteers that have gone through orientations and have gone through trainings and are either right now in the shelters or about to be in the shelters. We've also launched a new volunteer database called Volgistics that has allowed us to manage our volunteer population much better than we've ever been able to. It's going to allow us to do online scheduling. The volunteers can do online scheduling. Right now they can do online registering for the training classes, and it really has helped us manage our system and our program a lot. So we have new people in our building, and we're going to have a whole lot more new people in our building coming soon. In relation to some of our programs, I just wanted to highlight the foster care program. We also spent a lot of time creating a new policy and procedures for the foster care program so that we can make sure that we were all on the same page in relation to what is foster care for animal care and control, and for also looking at our statistics and how we can increase the amount of fosters and increase keeping track of those fostering. We're spending a lot of time working on it right now because we're gearing up for the summer months, which tends to be our biggest and busiest foster needs. The New Hope program, we continue to work with over 100 groups, and we every day get contacted by new groups where we're working to try to get them moving. The New Hope program is a fabulous program and really integral into getting animals out of our building and into the community. The field services, just for some stats, last quarter we responded to 1,951 calls from the public, and that's the calls that we rolled an officer out on. They do not all result in animals coming in our building, but they definitely result in a field officer having communication somewhere with somebody. Some updates on capital projects. The Manhattan Capital Construction Project is completed. The only area that we are still looking on is a signage plan, because right now the facility doesn't have adequate signage, if signage at all. So we were able to secure a private funder who's going to pay for signage for that building, and the signage is in its final form right now, and it's about to be printed. As far as the Staten Island shelter, the good news is the Department of Health has been able to secure about $600,000 to help us close the funding gap so that the shelter project can move forward. We had some concerns that it was going to be stalled, but it's not. It's fantastic. It's going to be moved forward.